While we're going through everything, please feel free to enter any questions you might have here in the chat. I will add that now. Grace Stoltz from our office is in here as well with me, just overseeing the chat, and she'll talk about the healthy athlete opportunities that we have at Summer Games this year. But just to start off, welcome. Crazy that we're already here. We're starting to feel it here in our office. We're about a week away from us leaving and being up on campus, so that's exciting. Numbers have started to really come back this year, which is exciting. We have 90 delegations that will be participating with us next week. And in those 90 delegations, we have about 1,200 athletes planning on attending. So congratulations to you all. Thank you all for the work that you have put in over the last couple months in preparing for this. We have an outlook that is a pretty positive one going into these games and what we're looking at. Just to get things started, obviously, required forms, those have been coming in very quickly to us. We thank you for that. Sarah's been plugging away at that. Any outstanding forms or questions on forms, any of those questions can go right to Sarah. Sarah with an HP at somaine.org. She's been working with a lot of you just on getting all of those things updated. So that way, as much is updated before we get up there as possible. So thank you for continuing to do that. And if you do have any questions on required forms or anything like that, that can just be sent right over to Sarah to continue to get plugged away and put in. Running down through just a quick on the meeting notes, packing list for those staying over. Obviously, we want to make sure that everything is needed for, changes of clothes, toiletries, obviously athletic wear, delegation uniform, any toiletry items, fans, sunscreen, hats, sunglasses, water bottle. There was a question that came up this week. Most of you that have stayed over know the university does provide bedding, but I do not recommend it. It is just the reusable throwaway, not reusable, sorry, the throwaway, bedding from the reusable material. So if, your athletes have a specific pair of sheets, comforter, blanket, a pillow that they like to use, I recommend packing it. Just add that to the list if you're staying over. Even if it is one night, we all know up there a good night's sleep can mean everything. So definitely just double check all of those things before you guys, get ready to hit the road next week, just with the packing and stuff like that. General reminders on there. All of the phone numbers are on there. Starting Tuesday of next week, we will be packing up everything, our entire office, and heading up there. So Wednesday morning, right around 10 o'clock, maybe a little after, hopefully that on-campus command center number will start to be in use. Obviously, we have access to our emails through our phones as well. So if any, dire needs come up in between those, 24 hours, feel free to just shoot us a quick email or give a call to that number. Hopefully, if we are there, someone will pick up and we'll be in the command center at all times. While on campus, obviously emergency numbers, first and foremost, if it is a major emergency, yes.
People are getting a really bad echo for you and they can't understand you.
A really bad echo. I will try and speak softer, quieter. I guess I will. Yeah, I'll just speak. Grace, are you hearing an echo?
I'm not, but a couple people in the chat are saying it's making it really hard to understand you.
Okay, I will slow down and speak less yelly. And hopefully that resolves it, because I do have everyone muted, so they shouldn't be getting any feedback from anybody else. So On-campus emergency numbers, again, if we're not at the competition, and medical's not around, 911 first and foremost. But there also is the campus safety number on there,
Mike.
which,
Hey, Mike.
yeah,
So I'm going to just cut in real quick. Please do not call 911. We will call the medical number. We will answer 100% of the time. It comes to several of us. The problem is if you call 911, it's going to go to an outside agency, which is going to get sent through a 911 center, and then we're not going to even know that you need us. So please do not call 911 for medical emergencies. Call that medical number. There's several of us that answer. We will answer it. We've never not answered it. So just keep that in mind. Thanks.
thank you, Mike. Good to know. So that 808 0911 is that number that he is talking about. Most of you will recognize the medical flyer. You will receive that in your welcome packet once you check in on campus, so you will have that number. So that will be the emergency hotline while you are on campus for this event. That will bring me into actually, Mike, you can jump on. Mike Brontis is a part of our on-campus medical team for our summer games. Most of you will recognize him, but Mike, I'll let you do your little spiel for the medical side of things.
Okay, thanks. So as Mike just said, I'm Mike. Ryan Welch and I run the medical staff. I'm sure most of you guys recognize us. I've been doing it for this is my 17th year, and Ryan's been doing it for about 87. But just a couple quick things. It's all the same as every year. As Mike was just pointing out with the medical flyer, please call that number. Don't call 911. I know it's counterintuitive, but if you call 911, like I said, it will go to an outside agency who's not part of the event. And we know most of you guys, we know most of the athletes, and we're right there on site 24/7, day or night, through the whole thing, starting Friday morning until we get done on Sunday. So please use that number for anything medical related. If it's police related, obviously call 911. If you're locked out of your room, there is a number, and Mike, I'm sure you probably have it by now, but there is a separate number if you get locked out. So make sure we get that number. Just a couple things to keep in mind. The weather. So if it's hot, stay hydrated. We'll have water at both ends of the field. We'll also have water at the medical tent and at bocce, and then at the dance. So plenty of water, stay hydrated. That's very important. And sunscreen, we will have individual packets of sunscreen available for all the athletes and coaches. We're going to try to keep it stocked at the water stations, but if it does run out, we'll have plenty at the tent. So please feel free to come and snag some of that. Even if it's cloudy or if it doesn't seem hot, you can still obviously get burned. So keep that in mind and use as much sunscreen as you want or as you can. The dance. So for the dance this year, it's going to be in a different location, and it's going to be at the field house. So we're not going to be where we normally are, right in front of the Alphon. If you guys need us, we'll be in the alleyway right in front of the command center. There'll be a lot of doors. I think there's like 9 or 10 sets of doors that open up on that side of the building. And if you walk right out those doors will probably be open, and that's where we'll be. So if you need us, we'll be right there. Let's see. The water, the sunscreen, the medical number. I think that's about it, unless Ryan has something else that he wants to add. Pretty much everything's the same as most years.
I think that was pretty much everything. The only other request I would make, would probably come up later, but please don't park in the fire lanes. It makes it really hard if we have to get an ambulance in and out of those buildings. There's not a lot of space there, so if those are free. That makes it a lot easier for us.
Perfect. Yep. So I've got those few things shared on my screen right now. I know a lot of people have been asking about the map. And we just finalized it right before this meeting, actually. So we will get everybody a copy of the new map. So everybody has it ahead of time. We'll also have it in your registration packet. And it will be actually, there'll be another location that I'll bring up here in a little bit of where you can access the map as well. So just for everyone's reference, medicals obviously will always be in the same spot. Our check-in and registration is in a new location this year. For those that don't know, the Alfond Arena is going through pretty much the starting phase of a full renovation starting this summer. So we'll be out of that building for the foreseeable future while the University of Maine really ramps up their athletic facility construction. So our command center information check-in will be just to the right of the far entrance of the field. That's where you'll check in pre-check-in or day of check-in, and any information or questions during the event itself. Our information table will be there as well. Again, like Mike mentioned, dance, obviously not in the Alpha one this year. We will be in the new Balance Field House. Many of you have been there for basketball. So we will be in that large, beautiful facility for not only dance, but our indoor events as well. Again, this map will be coming out to you guys as soon as possible, but just wanted to make sure you guys saw it and could see it, to see those few changes with what we're working around with the on-campus construction going on with the facilities. Moving through, obviously, some other general reminders. UMO is a smoke-free campus, so please be mindful of that anywhere on campus, not just the athletic fields, but just anywhere on campus grounds is smoke-free. Also, we do have a Coaches College date set for August 9th and 10th. So please mark your calendars for any staff that might want to become a level 1 coach in any of our sports. Also, just to let you guys know, as HODs, we are hoping to have an HOD session there. So any past, present, future potential HODs with our programs, we're hoping to get as many of you in the room as possible with me, with a few others, just to talk some things out, talk everything Special Olympics, just as we move forward into the fall, so that we're ready to go once our fall events come. Moving into check-in, we mentioned a little bit. Check-in will be a little different, not in the Alphon, so it will be in a tent outside the New Balance Field House. Everybody will check in there. You'll get everything you need, your welcome packet, your bibs, any outstanding payments we'll take there as well. And you'll also pick up, if you're staying overnight, you'll pick up your dorm keys, and all of those needs as well will happen at the check-in. Check-in times, we'll start those for local programs Thursday, 4 to 6 p.m. at that location. Then Friday, we'll start for everybody else starting at 9 a.m., running through the day until 5 p.m., all in the same location. And then for those only coming Saturday, 7:30 a.m., we will open that check-in for everybody who has not checked in yet. Let me stop sharing really quick. Oh, Pat, you had a question? You raised your hand.
Yes. So what happens if we can't get up there by 5 o'clock? Because I know I can't.
For Friday, are you staying overnight Friday night?
Yep.
So just let us know, and we can make sure that all of your stuff is pulled if you can't make it for 5 o'clock and you are staying Friday night. So we'll make sure that we get you what you need so you can get into your room.
Okay. And where would I go when I get there? Same place? Or?
It depends on what time you get there. Friday night is opening ceremonies, so if you are planning on being a part of that, just just contact me or contact one of us, and we'll make sure that we get you what you need. So I can get you my cell phone number if you need that.
Okay, thanks.
Perfect. So moving forward, a few new things this year. Might have some mixed feelings about this one, but we did get new bibs for this year's summer games. We have gotten rid of all of our old bibs. The new bibs will be either a pin on or a stick on. So we have both options for you. And it's like a true racing bib that you'll see at marathon runners or anything like that, or other large track events. So stick right on the front. With each athlete will have a number. Again, it's either pin on or stick on, whichever you guys prefer. But each athlete will have a bib that they can do that, and the bibs will be able to be taken home with them after the event. So don't have to worry about mailing back bibs anymore or turning them in. So we're moving to this new reusable or one-time use bib format this year. Also new, no more wristbands this year. We are actually unable to get wristbands at all. So we're moving to a lanyard credential. Everybody registered, you guys, your coaching staff, obviously the athletes, everybody will get a lanyard credential this year. That will say who you are, what delegation you're with, and if you're a track and field athlete or a coach or whatever that might be. So please, once you receive those, just make sure everybody's wearing those throughout the course of the weekend. For those staying overnight, that will get you in, get you into the door, get you into the dining halls for dinner and breakfast. And just making sure everybody's wearing those throughout the weekend, so you can just show that you're with us in our event. While running events for the athletes, we will have volunteers. The heat runners will take all 8 or up to 8 of the credentials and hold them while the athletes are running their events. We don't want any athletes running with the lanyards, obviously. So just, or if you as a coach or someone as the coaching staff wants to hold them while the athletes go to the starting line, just make sure that the athletes are not, wearing those lanyards while they are running on the track or throwing an event. Obviously, if they want to wear them playing bocce, I don't think that's an issue, but at least running around the track, we don't want to have any lanyards flying around. So safety precaution there. Another new thing this year, Delegation Village. We actually don't know what this is going to look like until we're up there. We've been told that there is actually a construction throughway on the north side of the track right now, because they are beginning renovations of their new soccer stadium and new track this summer. They won't be working while we're up there, but there is a new roadway that enters the north end by that emergency entrance over by Delegation Village. So we just ask, we know people like to get their tents set up ahead of time. Please don't, head over that way to stake anything down until Friday morning at 8 a.m. We just need to get a look at the grounds. If we have to lay any, caution tape or lay anything out to keep everybody away from certain areas, we want to get eyes on that before that happens. So with Delegation Village, if you're planning on going to stake out your spot early, please hold off until at least Friday at 8 a.m. just so we can, obviously, if they're doing any construction on Thursday or Wednesday, we'll let them, get done with that, and then Friday morning we can jump on that. Let me just check the chat really quick. I saw bocce question. I'll get to bocce in a minute. One last big new thing this year, if anyone read through the agenda, we have a Special Mix Maine app for your phone. We just signed with Snap Mobile, which is a mobile app service. So our entire summer games schedules, events, I believe a map is going to be up there, but everything will run through this app. So you'll have a one-stop shop to see specific age groups, where they're located, their times, what events they're doing. And I believe there's a geographical pinpoint of exactly where each event will be located as well, that works through whatever technology system that they have. So the app is live now. I recommend, if you wanted to, download it, take a look at it, feel free to do that. All you should do is go to your whichever carrier or whichever service you have, Apple or Google. You can just type in Special Olympics Maine. It'll pop right up, and it's a free download. We do have our summer games stuff already preloaded in there, but Sarah's working on making changes with Snap Mobile on a few things. But it is, like I said, it is live. Recommend downloading it. I did receive a question from an HOD today about just real-time notifications on weather or anything like that. We will also send notifications out through this app if, in case of weather, or, the early morning, if we have to push things off with weather coming in, with those early messages, if you didn't want to check your email or anything like that, or if it went to a work email and you don't have access to that email, this app will also send push notifications to you, which we will control. So another good thing about having that is just having those push notifications sent right to you from us specifically. Again, would recommend downloading it if you haven't, or at least start to look at that. And that's not just for HODs. Anybody on staff can have that. Coaches, even parents, athletes, if they wanted to download it to their phone, they could, so they can see it. And this is not just going to be a summer games app. We'll start using this for multiple events throughout the year with us, that has all the resources that you as a coach or HOD could need. And it's a one-stop shop kind of thing. Continuing on the new this year, obviously new indoor event location we went over. Everything indoors is just being moved over to the New Balance Fieldhouse. For those of you that might not know what that is, it's just the big building with the M as you're entering campus. So can't really miss that building. We'll have it marked off everywhere, and you'll see it on the map once you get the map from us. For everybody staying over, key card systems the same as last year. Thank you for getting us back all that information timely. We've sent it off to the university so they can begin making those keys for us, and they're also going to start lowering beds ahead of time this year for us. So hopefully we don't have as many issues or calls when we get to campus this year of beds being too high or anything like that. So just with this new key locking system, it's the same as last year. So make sure if you did stay overnight, just read through those reminders where it is that the tap keys. Each delegation, I believe, has at least one person with a master key. Obviously, multiple of the delegations have multiple master keys, but the master keys will open up every room in your block and no one else's. So in case somebody locks their specific key in a bedroom, there are master key backups to help you get into those rooms if you need to. And you will receive contact information if anything goes wrong from the university during check-in with the keys specifically. Any drops at check-in, those bibs and lanyards will be turned in, just so we know who's a drop is, a checks and balances on our end of things. So much like in years past, we're turning in the bibs and bracelets, we will continue to turn the bibs and lanyards back in to us if you have a scratch, or if you have a scratch after you checked in, just make sure you turn those back in so we can accordingly make those scratches on our end. Getting into the events, Friday events, bocce's a big one. Thank you all for being patient, those that are participating in bocce. I will say we have the most teams we've ever had by a lot this year at our bocce competition. Those that have played bocce in the past know how long of a day it is. We were hovering around 90 to 95 teams in the past. We have 131 bocce teams this year. So we have been working pretty diligently to try and get everybody out in a reasonable time to make dinner, and then obviously make the parade and make opening ceremonies. We have added 4 brand new courts this year. Still working through the scheduling of it, but how we believe we have it, we should have everybody out of there by 4 o'clock at the latest. We are going back to traditional starting right off the bat. So I know we got the schedule a few days ago. I overlooked that. Unified bocce will not start until 10:30 at the earliest. So if you have a unified bocce team, you will not start any games until 10:30 at the earliest. I hope to have a full bracket completed by this Friday to have to you, so you know exactly what time your teams will start. It'll be pretty much the same as the past, where every game will be blocked off by half an hour time slot, so you'll be able to see exactly when your teams play and when the first game is, and you can map out your schedule there. Scott, are you here? I don't even. Scott Gregory might be here. I was hoping he was here. I can't see if Scott's here or not.
Yes.
Scott, you want to unmute yourself? Ooh. Well, while he's trying to do that, Andrea, do you have a question?
I'm wondering, are you starting, is there a separation between the schools and the adults for bocce? And I'm asking not necessarily for divisioning, but time frame, where things for schools have typically been during the school day. And I'm wondering if that's still the same kind of a thing, or if they're just expected to be there for the entire day, then into the parade time frame.
They won't be I don't know exactly what time schools will be. It'll depend on unified or traditional. I'm assuming you're unified.
Yes.
So like I said, the earliest unified will start is 10:30. And those early unified games are going to be made up of divisions of 8. So most likely school probably won't start until, lunchtime or later. Because I don't think we have too many schools participating in the unified this year. So by all means, they don't need to be there the entire time. Make sure you just take a look at, once the brackets are released, take a look at your first start time and just know that that's, when your first game is, and, just being there at that point. We'll run 2 coaches meetings. Traditional will go right off the bat in the morning, like it normally does at, I believe, 8:45 or 9. And then we'll hold off and do a unified coaches meeting starting around 10:30ish, just before all the unified starts up. But I can't answer for schools specifically at what time they start, because I don't have them fully done yet.
Okay, thank you for that information. I have one more quick question, because
Yes.
I haven't been watching in a while at the state games. Are we doing single elimination like we did at area games?
No. The plan right now is to continue with our double. We traditionally do double elimination. I will say the only thing that will change that is weather. With adding 4 courts, those of you that have been to bocce, the bubble really fills up quickly with people. And there's not a whole lot of room to add really any more courts on top of what we have. So there might be 2, maybe 4 courts outside on the baseball field. And if that's the case, oh, Andrea, I'm gonna unmute you, Andrea.
Can you hear me now?
Oh, go ahead, Scott. I'll let you jump in.
Okay, I need all coaches to be very aware that our time frames are going to be so tight that you have to have your teams there on time. I cannot hold any games. If you're late and we have to start, you'll forfeit. If you have athletes who might have to go to the bathroom in between games, I suggest that you have an alternate available to fill in so that the game can continue and your team doesn't lose by forfeit. No food in the dome. There is no food. There's no need for you guys to eat during traditional, and then when unified starts, you should be able to have had some lunch before those games start. Is there any questions about that? We're working to train our officials. We don't know who they're going to be for sure yet, and I'm trying to get that done prior to the games. But you're going to also have to be patient with them, and we will walk around and troubleshoot as need be. Wendy and I will be your go-to people. If you have questions, come strictly to Wendy or to me and nobody else. Does that make sense to everybody? Okay, thanks, Mike.
I heard that, Scott. So they're coming to you and not coming to me. So I appreciate that. Yeah, just to echo him, or to echo Scott, we have about 235 total bocce games that we got to get through this year in a 9 to 3:30 period. So being on time to those games is crucial this year. Again, they're going to run 20 minutes with that 10-minute, kicker if there's a tiebreaker, and 10 minutes to get to your next court. So just make sure, if you are a bocce coach, make sure you're reading very closely the brackets, have it, know where your teams are, where they're going to line up to play, and just make sure that going into this thing, where things are. Obviously, if you have any questions, don't be afraid to reach out to myself or Sarah, and we can get you the information, or point you in the right direction where you need to be for that. Just bocce is going to be it's going to be a big one this year, and the more on time we can be, the better off we'll be at the end of the day. And to Andrea, to I think answer some of your question, obviously, like I said, you'll see it once we get the brackets out. But if you are a unified bocce team, there is no need for you to be there at 8:30 in the morning or right away, because those unified games really won't start until 10:30, 11 o'clock later, and then play through the afternoon. So we had to split it up that way just to be able to get everybody in a reasonable fashion this year.
I do appreciate that, because that gives the kids a chance to go to a couple of classes before we head up there by 10 o'clock. So
Yeah.
that'll be good.
Yep. And then that way, obviously, those starting right off the bat in the morning with traditional, once they're done, they're good to go. They're done. They don't have to stick around the bubble and wait. We're trying to avoid any 2-hour delays at that point of playing matches. So
Thank you so much, Mike.
You're welcome. Couple other events, obviously, outside on the track Friday. Oh, no, one more thing on bocce, Andrea. She asked if they were double or single elimination. We are running double elimination unless weather hits, and we can't use those 4 outside courts. We might have to switch everything up and go single elimination at that point. But that's going to be kind of on the fly. We'll let everybody know that morning, or maybe even the night before at that point, of what that might look like. But that will be weather dependent because we will have to have at least 2 to 4 courts outside. So, but we are double elimination still.
Great, thank you.
Moving outside to the track, couple events that kick off the summer games for our track meet. We do have the mile trials. Everybody doing the mile will do 1 trial time to then be divisioned for finishing up their mile on Sunday. We will have finals of the 4x100 relays, the 400-meter run, and the 800-meter run. All of those events are located on the 3-day schedule. So just make sure you're taking a peek at that 3-day schedule. That's where those events are embedded into the specific hour-by-hour schedule. Moving to Friday night, change this year. The barbecue dinner will be in assigned dining halls for those Plan A and Plan Bers. So you'll be going to your assigned dining halls. You'll be getting that information by the end of this week of what dining hall you're assigned to. So just keep an eye on that. Parade formation at the CCA lot in the normal spot with Nancy Raymond from 4:30 to 5. Parade will begin at 5. Opening ceremonies or from the parade, everybody will march in with their teams into the Alphonse Stadium for opening ceremonies for 6 o'clock. Just a reminder, if your delegations have any banners, please make sure you bring those to march in behind. And we recommend, with the theme this year, we just want team spirit as always. So if you have team uniforms or team swag that you guys wear, we recommend you guys showing off your team colors and team logos with that. So make sure you're dressing appropriately for that, for opening ceremonies with your team and everything. And obviously, throughout all of these processes moving forward, with inclement weather, we'll send out notifications if anything does get canceled. We'll do mass emails, and also that the Special Olympics Maine app as well. We'll have push notifications on that. Moving into Saturday, obviously breakfast 6:30 to 8 in your assigned cafeterias. You'll get those. Please, just a reminder, we do begin at 8:30 on the track. Please plan to arrive 15 minutes ahead of time to the staging tents, starting at 8:15. You'll see that on the Saturday schedule. It's broken down by age group, so each age group starts at a different venue. 11 and under start with their jumps. 12 to 15-year-olds are off. 16 to 21 start with the throws. 22 to 29s are off, and 30 and overs start on the track with their 100-meter dashes. Males on the home side, females on the visitor side. So just please be in mind to get there early because we start right at 8:30, and we do not do makeups at summer games. These are all finals, so they'll be awarded in their division and awarded based on the heats they run. And like I said, these are all finals, and we're not doing any makeups for any events. So please plan to be on time. We have a new, some of you have probably heard from her or talked to her, but we have a new health manager here at Special Olympics Maine, Grace Stoltz. She has done an amazing job of revamping and getting our healthy athlete opportunities back up and running. So I'm going to let her take over for a minute and just talk about some of those healthy athlete opportunities that will be under the tents.
First, is it Rika? Do you have a question?
Oh, I missed that. Sorry, Rika.
I do. No worries. So because I know sometimes it happens when we have a big group, for say running long jump, and then we have some guys that might be doing the 50-meter dash. What do we do in the event that they're in the middle of doing their jumps and their second or third event comes up?
So you're saying like a venue's running behind at that point, I would assume, and yeah. Hopefully that doesn't happen. Because that would mean that's my butt at that point. But if that starts to become the case, I'll obviously be all around the field. And I can put fires out, or we can send people to different venues to make sure that either venues start speeding up, or we push any missing people because of that reason. We can have their heats go a few heats behind or whatever. But obviously, if it's not their fault that they're missing, and we do know that they're sitting there waiting for the event before, we'll obviously make those exceptions and do what we need to do.
Okay, awesome. Thank you.
Go ahead, Grace.
Okay, so hi everyone, I'm Grace. Some of you have gotten emails from me regarding health related things. So this year we're going to have a fun fitness, which is a physical therapy screening. We're going to have special smiles, which is our dental screening, and podiatry, which is our fun fit feet, which is our podiatry screening. All of the screenings will have giveaways this year. We have really great volunteers and practitioners coming. And if you've ever wondered what happens with the screening information, it comes back to me. And then if your athlete is identified as someone who might need follow-up care, I will then reach out to you to get their contact information of how to best contact either the athlete directly or their parent or guardian to see if they would like help making that follow-up appointment. So there's a little more follow through this year than there has been in years past because of my position. This year, we're also going to have a mobile mammogram truck there for our athletes 40 plus and our coaches, our female coaches 40 plus. If you are interested in your athletes or yourself receiving a mammogram, please reach out to me at graces@somaine.org. You will need a copy of your insurance card, and that's about it for the mammogram process. It's completely free through Northern Light. They have a mobile mammogram unit. So, and it's enclosed, it's private, and their technicians will be handling everything. So, but if anyone has any questions about the health screenings or anything like that, feel free.
Perfect. Thank you, Grace. So yeah, a lot of great opportunity coming this year at our Healthy Athlete tents. So make sure that you plan to stop by when you do have a break. Those tents will run from 10 a.m. to 3:30 p.m. on Saturday. So once your athletes do have a break in their schedule, make sure you pop over there and say hi to everybody and have them run through the screenings. Olympic Village will also be open in its regular spot. We do have some more fun, some more fun opportunities coming to Olympic Village. Nothing I can release just yet, but I know Caroline and Wendy have been working on bringing some more opportunities and more stations and tables to Olympic Village. That will also be open from 10 to 3:30. So again, pop in when you have some downtime just to say hi and take in some of those events over there. Athlete and coach lunches, we will again be behind the visitor side bleachers like we have for the past couple of years. These lunches are for coaches and athletes only. So please assign a coach or if you just want to go up as a team just to grab those lunches. Those will be going out of that tent. It is marked on the map for once we release the map, but it is in the same location as it has been the last couple of years for lunches on Saturday. Again, dinner in assigned dining halls for those that are staying overnight, Plan A and Plan Bs. Any lost and found, and this is not only if you've lost something, but if you have found something, we will have lost and found by the torch in the center of the field. So if there's something that's gone missing, it will be put there. And if there's a jacket or anything that's been hanging on the fence or that's you've seen for the past couple hours and nobody's around, just feel free to bring it over. All lost and found will congregate at the torch in the center of the football field. Dance. we will be having the dance again in the new Balance Fieldhouse. Theme this year is neon and glow. So I will let you guys decide how you want to work that. But anything that's bright and shiny and flashy works with us. So neon glow themed. We will have our wonderful DJ Jeff back with us this year for our summer games. So we're excited to have him back. Again, hosting the dance. Again, it's the New Balance Fieldhouse. We'll have a couple different ways to enter the Fieldhouse. Again, like Mike pointed out earlier in the call, the medical team will be there in the alleyway with those doors open. So we'll have those doors open for ventilation and everything throughout the evening at the dance. So you can enter those doors if you want to, or enter the main entrance as well. Just a reminder, inside the field house, the turns, because it is an indoor track facility, the turns are banked. So there are banked turns in there. So just be aware of that. All the straightaways are flat, but at least around each end line's corners are banked, just for everybody's reference and safety on that part. Movie this year, for those that might not want to go to the dance and just take part in a movie, we are moving that to the Wells Conference Center. So that is on the second floor. It'll be on the second floor of the Wells Commons. We'll have it marked as well, but just for everyone's reference, we're not going back to Neville this year. They're continuing with their constructions in that building, and we'll be in the Wells Conference Center set up for a movie in there. Just reading quickly through the chat for questions. Is there a family reception this year on Friday or coaches meeting? No, nothing Friday night other than the parade and opening ceremonies. Trying to not have you guys leave your delegations once we get to campus. So doing all this stuff ahead of time. Just so everybody's in the know once they arrive and know where to go and what to do. Moving through Saturday night into Sunday, breakfast for those staying over in the dorms, 6:30 to 8. Just be mindful, we do start our events at 8:30. So again, that be at the tents 15 minutes ahead of time. Still applies to Sunday because we do not do makeups. We want to just make sure that everybody, makes their events and is on schedule and on time for Sunday. One other thing this has come up a couple times. The 100-meter walk is a Sunday event. Just for everyone to know, that has historically been on Sunday because just of the limited time and track space we have on Saturday. So the 100-meter walk is a Sunday event. So you'll see it on the 3-day schedule. We will have the 100-meter walks and then the finals of the mile run on Sunday and the mile walks as well. So both miles and the 100-meter walks will be on Sunday on the track, and then the walk will be on the baseball fields. So just keep in mind of those Sunday events that are scheduled for Sunday, not Saturday. Any other questions, concerns, thoughts while I have everybody here as a group? Just before we give it a 1-week notice and we're rip and roaring, ready to go. Again on here, just reminder of don't park in fire lanes. Most likely campus will be a little busy with construction and stuff like that. So just be mindful of that when you get up there, and just know that we're trying to work around a multi-million-dollar renovation that's happening. It's starting now. Just for everyone's reference, it's going to be over the next couple of years that we're going to be kind of working around these renovations. And once they're done, we're going to have a brand new facility for us to use, and that's going to be home. So, Dennis, you have a question.
Yeah, just a quick one, Mike. I was just having trouble hearing at the start. You suggested people bringing linen if they wish, but linens will be provided as in the past, right? The paper,
Yes.
sheets and a blanket and a bath towel.
Yes, everything is the same as provided in the past. But for those that have stayed overnight, just, you know what those things are that are provided. It's that paper sheet. It's it's not the comfiest of linens. So if you did have, a pillow or specific pillow that you use, a blanket, I would recommend just, packing those things so you're comfortable at that point.
Thank you.
Grace, was there anything, questions we missed in the chat that needed to be brought up?
I think you got them all.
Okay. All right. Perfect. Well, if there are not any more questions, we
Okay.
still. Oh,
There's one more question,
oh,
Mike.
sorry, Janice, I missed you.
Just raise my hand. It was just a quick question about the balance payment.
Yeah, go ahead.
I have a really bad echo on my side, so I don't know if you can hear me.
You're echoing a little bit, but I'll fight through it.
Have the bills already been sent to the district school?
No, that will come. So the balances will come in email form. We're still just crunching numbers right now. We have to make sure that everybody's numbers in our system match what's in the Excel spreadsheet. But that will come in email form from me as a big mail merged email. So you should be seeing that by week's end.
Okay.
Go ahead, Jeff.
Had a question from a athlete asking about the parade. Is there going to be a traditional parade before the athletes parade?
There sure is, and it's going to be big.
Sounds fun.
Oh, yeah. It's we've been fielding calls from all of those civic organizations about coming back and being a part of it. The Shriners, the Legionnaires, everybody. So I believe it's going to be about the same, and they usually bring emergency vehicles, trucks, army trucks from the area to have a big full parade. So it's going to be a big full one.
I'll pass the word on. It's going to make a lot of people happy.
Perfect. All right, last call. Any more hands? Anything that you need from myself, Grace, medical team, Scott? Anything at all? No, once, twice, no sale. Okay, well, again, thank you all for your patience and obviously turning around all that information to us so quickly. It's a huge help getting all those logistical things in ahead of time, and us and the university appreciate it. So hopefully things will be smooth sailing once we arrive on campus next week. Again, if you have any obviously questions between now and then, you know how to get in touch with us. We look for, huge thank you. Thank you, Phil, for that. I appreciate that. Yeah, we've got a really great staff here. Mighty staff of 6 or 7 or however many we are that are really putting all the hours into making this work. And we obviously can't do what we do without you guys and the efforts that are put in from the HOD side of things. We know all the paperwork that comes to us has to come from somewhere. So we appreciate the work that you guys are putting in and doing, and it all will come together to make a great event next week, and hopefully catapult us into a number of great events here moving forward. So again, reach out to us if you have any questions. You'll start to see some more information coming from us here in the next couple days or so. But until then, we look forward to seeing everybody once we get to campus and really getting this thing going. So thank you, everybody.
Thank you.